What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a very special PlayStation 5 version of the Spectator Mode Podcast. If you've been under a rock the last couple of days, you would know that the PlayStation 5 has been released, as well as the Xbox Series X. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think between myself and the other gentleman on the line here, Karl, we have not played much of our Xbox Series X. But I don't want to speak for Karl. Karl, have you used your Xbox Series X much?
To be honest, I really haven't since hooking up the PlayStation 5, mainly because my TV only has the one HDMI 2.1 slot that does the 4K. So for the moment, the PlayStation has been the main occupier of that slot. And for those people who are wondering sort of more about my experiences with the Xbox One X, can go over to the Outerhaven.net and look up my journey to the next generation article that I put down there, which I actually talk a little bit about the Xbox when I actually got it, and probably haven't going to use it again.
So I should probably prefix this by saying I do not hate the Xbox Series X. I think it is a very attractive piece of hardware, and I'm pretty sure it will do great. But as far as game selection goes, right now the games that I'm playing are exclusive to the PlayStation 5. Thus, I'm more excited about the PlayStation 5. So,
well, I'll sort of chime in on that same idea. Like when I got the PlayStation, when I got the Xbox One X, Series X. God, name your conventions. Xbox, get your shit together.
Xbox X.
Are we on 6? Are we now, or are we on 5?
Well,
I don't know.
Xbox Series X.
Oh, I don't care.
If you say it fast, it's what it sounds like.
Sure, it's finally the sex box, which they finally want to. Yeah, I picked up Yakuza Like a Dragon for it and went, cool. Okay, so that's something that'll play on that, and I'm like, I haven't even put the game in to play it yet. I even downloaded stuff that was supposedly Xbox Series X upgrade from day one off Xbox Game Pass. Played for 5 minutes and went, I'd rather play this on PC.
Okay, I can at least say
that was Doom Eternal. Like Doom Eternal, like I would rather play that on the PC, especially in 4K on my PC. You know, I have this graphics card and I really need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you really should. I have,
but I'm not like, this is the thing. I'm gonna say this straight out the gate. Because we'll probably get into this a little bit deeper later on. Out of the two controllers, I actually prefer the Xbox controller. Now,
blasphemy. No.
I know. After many years of being a PlayStation convert, the main thing that gets me, and the biggest difference between the two consoles, is the directional pad and the way that the grips are made on the back.
It's funny that you say that because I made a video today and I went on record saying I actually like the DualSense a lot more than the Xbox One controller, and you know how much I love my Xbox One controllers. So it's a unique dynamic. I really like it, but we'll talk about that as we get into there. As always, we talk about the games we played the past week, and I'll be honest with you here. If you ask me what is the one game I played the most ever since the PlayStation and Xbox dropped, it was Demon Souls. Like literally nonstop Demon Souls, and there's a reason for that. If you haven't been paying attention, I've done like 3 playthrough videos, another one in coding. I've done boss guides. I've done videos on how to do the fights. So a lot of my content has been around Demon Souls, and it's also the gateway drug that got me hooked on this actual series. So let me tell you a little tale, because I heard a lot of people on Twitter and other websites talking about how they got involved. So I think it was the year that Demon Souls had first came out, and it was a Christmas. And I went to GameStop Christmas Eve and was like, I'm going to buy a game. And somebody had returned or traded in a copy of Demon Souls, so I saw it for a discount. I still have the original box, and I still have it with the sticker on it. So I was like, I'll pick up this game. This looks like a nice action hack and slash game. And when I went home and I played it, and I was like, this game is terrible. I can't do anything with this game. Why do I die and keep getting sent back to the beginning of the level? What is going on? I literally cursed it, through my controller because I wasn't mature at that time, and never played the game at all for the rest of the year. Fast forward to the spring of next year, I was like, huh, I bought this game and I didn't really play it. So I sat down and I played it. I didn't have any guides, I didn't have anything. And then something just clicked in my head. And ever since then, I've been hooked on these kind of games. It's really weird. Now I can't put these games down. I love Demon Souls. So, yeah,
So
I'm in heaven.
essentially, you got good and you finally enjoyed the game.
Yes, I got good and started enjoying the game and every game afterwards. Yes. Funny how that works. But yeah, other than that, I haven't played anything. My son has come into my room and he's played a bunch of he's played Spider-Man, he's played a bunch of PlayStation 4 games on it. But that's it. For me, out of all the PlayStation 5 games, it's just been Demon Souls. And it probably will be until I finish beating it and helping people run through the game. What about you?
Considering, for me, like I mentioned before, I did play a little bit of Doom Eternal on the Xbox Series X. I went to boot up We Happy Few and then remembered how much I hated that game the first time, so I deleted it. But my main one for this week, outside of that game we shall not mention because it is evil, addicting, and costs too much money.
Hey, the game that has an expansion just came out or is coming out?
Coming out on the 24th of November, which means I'll be playing that after the 24th. Well, after the 25th when I get back from my little hiatus.
Which means we won't see you ever again. Goodbye.
No, you'll see me. You'll see me. I'll be around. I'm one of these people who can actually multitask. But yeah, my main game for so far this week has been Spider-Man Miles Morales. I have been enjoying that. It's a lot more Spider-Man as you would expect, but there's enough changes in it to make it feel fresh and exciting.
Yeah, once I finish Demon Souls, I want to devote my time to Miles Morales, probably around Thanksgiving when I have time to actually just, no, honey, I don't want to do any work. I just want to sit here and play games. More so now that COVID-19 is kicking up more and looks like we'll be under lockdown soon.
Yeah, it's a good time to start playing games. It's when you're in lockdown.
Pretty much. Is that it? Is that all you've been playing?
That's pretty much it. Like, it's been basically splitting my time between Miles Morales and World of Warcraft.
All right.
So, yeah, I've just been enjoying. Like, the Miles Morales, I can see where the story's going, but there's enough little bits and pieces here and there that made me sort of go, okay, I actually enjoy this. And I'm talking as somebody who wasn't a big proponent of the character when he first debuted, but this game has actually made me sort of go, okay, he's here to stay. Deal with it. And also, I did boot up the Spider-Man remaster just to have a look at comparison-wise.
It's like night and day.
Oh my god. Yeah, it is definitely like night and day. It is too, like, the way the ray tracing everything works on that game. Oh my god, I can't go back to the PS4 version after that.
See, and this is exactly what Sony is doing right. And again, no disrespect to Microsoft, none whatsoever. But with the PlayStation 5 games, they're literally showing you this is why you want to play these games on this platform. It's like night and day.
Pretty much.
No. And again, I'm not a Sony pony. I know somebody's gonna probably say, "Well, you're just a Sony show." Man, if you know how many times I talked up Microsoft and PC gaming, I am the furthest person away from being a Sony shrill or a fanboy. I play games where I want to play games. And if there's a game on a console that is freaking phenomenal and that console is also phenomenal, I'm going to say it. And I think right now, the PlayStation 5 is beating the Xbox Series X because of the game selection. Not that the PlayStation 5 has a big game selection, because it doesn't. It just happens to have games I want to play. So Karl, what has your experience been? I saw your article on the Outerhaven about your experience with purchasing the console, having it, and finally having it in your home. But now that you have it, what are your overall thoughts about it?
To be honest, it's a bigger, better PlayStation 4. Like, that's my feeling. My initial feeling with it is that this is what the PlayStation 4 should have been. It's a great 4K running monster of a machine. It's the output that I've had so far has been absolutely spectacular. It actually finally convinced me and has converted me to being someone who needs to go out and upgrade everything to 4K, like my monitors, my main television, all that shit. It's all going to get upgraded to 4K as soon as I can afford it. And that makes Keith very happy because now I'm starting to get on his level.
No,
Next thing I'll be talking about how everything needs to run at 120 frames per second all the time.
No, I've never
8K
said
graphics.
that. I've never said that. 60 frames a bust, but 120 is a little over the top. As long as it's 60 frames, I'm good. Nothing more. I mean, obviously more is good, but bare minimum it has to be 60. That's where I draw the line.
Exactly. Like my little TCL TV that I've got at the moment, little 32 in the office. It's when it's running Miles Morales, I have it set for the fidelity mode, which is where it shows that in 4K, but it's 30 frames per second. I'm happy with that. If I change it to 60, I can see a difference, but at the same time, you're missing a lot of the bells and whistles that are meant to come with these games. You know, your ray tracing, your better pixel quality, higher resolution, all that type of stuff. So like personally, I can deal with 30 frames, but then again, I wear glasses all the time, so me seeing 60, I don't really notice the difference. But yeah, like I haven't really had much issue with the PlayStation 5. Like I've been hearing people having all sorts of issues, ranging from the blinking blue light of death to consoles being completely dead to games not running properly off an external hard drive for the PlayStation 4 stuff. I haven't heard any. Yeah, it hasn't set itself on fire like the Xbox supposedly did.
I swear to
God,
God,
when you blow vape into the bottom of your console, it comes out the top, and you go,
"It's
on fire!"
Find that person and sue them for damaging their brand. That was bullshit. They should have not done that. We need our 50 minutes of clout.
Shit. That was some dumb shit, honestly. But I have seen. I do follow a couple of technology guys on TikTok. I know, get the old person off our platform. Fuck off. We invented the internet. Suck dick.
Wow. Somebody's a little frustrated, upset, angry, all the above. Now.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. Look, I've been hearing kids lately, like teenagers, going, "Hey, if you were born in between 1990 and the year 2000, you're old."
Well,
and I'm looking at them going, "Well, then what the fuck am I?"
There was
I must be fucking dinosaur.
There was a thread on Twitter a couple days ago, and somebody was like, "I'm 35 years old and I'm old," and everybody started coming and like, "What do you mean you're old? I've been gaming since the Fairchild and ColecoVision and television. If you're old, what the hell am I?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 43. What the hell are you talking about, dude?"
I've been gaming since the bloody Sega SC3000, man. Like I go back to the genesis of fucking cartridge gaming, back when you had to use a cassette to save stuff on.
Oh my god, a cassette!
An actual cassette, and like even seeing a kid pick up a box of 3.44 inch floppy disks, going, "I don't know what these are, these ancient artifacts," and I'm going, "Really? Really?"
But let's talk about the PlayStation 5. You're gonna make me feel bad.
Yeah, sorry, but to go back to what I was saying about the technology on TikTok, he actually got his first PlayStation 5 in for repair within 3 days of it coming out. What had happened was that the HDMI port had already burnt out. And because they're specialized HDMI ports, he had to replace it with one from PS4 Pro. So
did that work? The repair?
The repair worked.
That's crazy.
But whether he can get the full 4K HDR experience and all that out of the HDMI port, I don't know.
I don't think he's going to be able to, because HDMI 2.1 port's a little different, if I'm correct. But even
They
even
are
still,
the pins are actually shifted slightly to the left of the initial pin
even
configuration
still,
on the motherboard
if
versus
I
the.
if it was a brand new console, I'd be like, Sony, you need to fix this shit now.
Yeah, but Sony, you go, not our problem, which I
It's
think is bullshit.
it's not even
Which
30
which which
days.
person. Which personally I would call bullshit on, and yeah, I would have sent it back to Sony. But then again, Sony probably would have asked, "Oh, we're going to replace this for like $600 or some stupid
No,
thing."
they
They probably
can't do
would have
that.
sent it to the guy.
It's under warranty, a manufacturer's warranty. Unless he or she went and physically bent the pins, Sony would need to replace that shit from the get go. Because I've seen a couple of people on Twitter as well saying, and one of them was a big YouTuber saying, I had a PlayStation 5 that messed up, worked with Sony, sent me another one out, and that one broke. So
Yeah,
between that, the heart reset bug that I'm hearing about as well, which is making the rounds, there's also an issue.
the rest mode rebuild bug that's
Yeah,
out there at
that
the
one.
moment.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of issues. I mean, and again, it's not to point fingers at the PlayStation 5 reading the Xbox. This is just what happens when you are an early adapter and you buy the very first things. There are bound to be issues. Unfortunately, it's just the way technology is. And with these consoles becoming more and more sophisticated and advanced, they are prone to breaking down. It sucks. And you can't go back to your Best Buy or GameStop or EB Games or wherever and go, it's broke. Give me another one.
Yeah, but that's the one thing though that sort of gets me is I don't know whether it's just whether I've just been or I don't know, like I have some magic juju or something. Like I've still got my original launch day PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
I still have I have a launch day PS3 Slim. I have my original PlayStation and my original PlayStation 2.
I mean, for the most part,
All of these were launch day consoles, and I have never had a problem with a single one of them.
I'm in the same boat. The only thing I had
knock on wood
was I had the Ring of Death on one of my Xbox 360s, but I still have my other original Xbox 60 in my office. I don't use it anymore, but I still have it. I still got my fat PlayStation 3. I had a PlayStation 1, but I let a friend borrow it, and he never brought it back, and I never saw that friend again either. So, who knows what happened to it or him? But for the most part, I still got my original Super Nintendo, off-color orange because it's no longer the original color anymore. But yeah, I still got some of my original launch consoles. I won't say I'm lucky. I just take care of my shit.
Yeah, I wish I kept my original launch day Game Boy, the big grey brick. But unfortunately, I traded that in during the DS era.
So,
but other than that, like a lot of the consoles that I've even picked up secondhand these days have been great, still in great condition.
Yeah, I have no problems either. But I want to get us back on the PlayStation 5. So you said you've been playing a lot of Miles Morales. What is it with that game that has drawn you in? What if you were to if you tried to sell this game to somebody, what would you tell them? What is so good about this game?
Yeah, it really is. It's one of those things where you really do have to process because it's basically if you're a Spider-Man fan, pick this up. Especially because if you pick up the Ultimate Edition for PS5, you get the original Spider-Man with it, which is in itself was a 5-star game. With Miles Morales, though, his change up with his bioelectricity and his stealth tactics enough to refresh the gameplay that you don't feel like you're being drawn into just like a cash-in style DLC.
Fair enough.
It feels like it really is meant to be its own game, and the way that they've fleshed out, especially the Harlem area of New York City, which is where a lot of the game takes place, where Miles lives and everything else. Like it is so vibrant, so full of people, so full of personality.
Yep.
All the graffiti on the walls that are there. Well, artwork. I'll call because it's actually that type of quality. Even like things like they've got a gigantic mural of Black Lives Matter, right in the middle of it. I'm like, okay, we don't really need that type of political symbolism, but I'll let it slide because the artwork was exceptionally good. And the best thing is the character that's doing it is an actual street artist from the area who's actually deaf. So they tackle a little bit of a deaf character being a part of the story, because she actually interacts with Miles, and Miles actually knows sign language as well. So I'm always a big advocate for sign language, or as we call it here, Auslan, to be seen in media. We need more representation for deaf people in all sorts of media. They are probably one of the most minuscule, undermined groups when it comes to being represented on television, being represented in video games, just being represented in anything, really. So to see that type of characterization seen there, absolutely loving it. I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I love the references. The new twist on Tinkerer, absolutely love it. The fact that you can go through New York and you can see because this thing's meant to take place quite a few months, I think 7 months or so after the original Spider-Man. So you get to see the fallout of everything that happened from the first Spider-Man game. The very start of it, you end up in a battle with Rhino because they're trying to send out all the big villains back to the raft after it's been repaired. Or if you go by Fisk Tower, which was the first point that you went to in the first Spider-Man game, you actually see it's all boarded up, and you get to see all the bits of destruction on the outside from that battle. So
Yeah,
it is a really good continuation from the first Spider-Man game, and I'd recommend, if you love the first game or you enjoyed the first game, play this one. You owe it to yourself to play this one.
I would even go on saying, and again, I haven't played it, but I watched my son play it. Even if you didn't play the original Spider-Man game, play this. They're so separate that you don't have to play one to understand the other one. I mean, yes, it helps.
Look, it helps, but the good thing about this one is that when you first boot up the game, or at any point, there's a little segment that shows up in the menu called Previously On, that you select that, and it gives you a recap of everything. So you don't have to play the first game to understand what happens. You get a recap. Like, if you do it straight out from the start of the game, it gives you Miles's viewpoint on everything that happened from the first game, leading up to revealing himself to Pete at the end of the last game, and now he's training under Pete in this one.
Well, let me jump in real quick, and I'll talk about my experience with the PlayStation 5, because I don't want to keep us here too long, because I'm actually jonesing to jump back into some more PlayStation 5 gaming.
I'm wanting to do that too now. You started me on
it. I will say one thing though, and I'll jump into my Demon Souls because I'm really loving this. The biggest thing I can appreciate about Miles Morales Spider-Man while my son was playing it is that my PlayStation did not sound like a jet about to take off. The PlayStation 5 is incredibly silent, very silent.
To be honest, both consoles are extremely quiet.
They are.
The only time I have heard noise that has sort of had me of concern is when I've left a disc in the console that is not actually running. So say I've been doing stuff in the menu, fiddling around with settings and whatnot. Every now and again, it'll be like you leave a CD in the CD-ROM drive. It'll boot it up every now and again, spin just to make sure the mechanisms are working and everything else. That's the only time I hear noise out of the console. While it's running the game, even on the disc, whisper quiet.
Yeah, it's very quiet. And it does put out a lot of heat, because I did put my hand behind it, because one of the big questions everybody asked about the PlayStation 5 and also Xbox Series X was, do these things get very hot? Well, they get hot just as much as any other electronics, but they did a great job of the cooling. I mean, I already knew Microsoft was going to do a great job. They did a great job with the Xbox One X. So on the other hand, the PlayStation 4 Pro, not so much, but this is so good. I have not been excited about a launch console tech on either one of these two for quite some time. I even went out, we were talking about this before, about how I was trying to set up my consoles to optimize the placement, and I was going to sit them inside of a shelf. Well, this weekend I went out to IKEA and I found a brand new TV stand, which is why I said earlier my office is a complete utter mess. I've literally have changed my entire setup. IKEA has a brand new TV stand called the Hofsta, which is wide enough. It has 4 shelves, adjustable shelves, and you can place your PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X side by side on one shelf and still have room. So I've literally been changing my entire console setup. But getting back to the PlayStation 5, we all know, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I am a big fan of the Demon Souls and Dark Souls games. And prior to the PlayStation 5 coming out, when we had saw the PlayStation showcase and they showed Demon Souls, Karl, you were there. I literally screamed at the top of my lungs because I was like, holy shit, this game is actually the game they were working on. And fast forward to today, or last week, I've been diving into that world nonstop. I've streamed it a bunch of times. I'm recording gameplay. I'm writing articles about how to beat encounters. I'm loving it. But more than anything, the game offers you both a performance mode and a visual mode. One offers you 60 frames per second, one offers you 30 frames per second. Visually, I can't see a difference between the two, so I'm always running in the performance mode. And it's just like playing the game for the second time, not the first time, the second time of playing Demon Souls. The game runs incredibly well. The online is working fine. Everything's like I remember before. And apparently there's a couple of new things that Bluepoint added that the community is trying to find out now. There's a secret door that was added that everybody's trying to do code breaking, figure out how to get past this door, which is interesting.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors of the door that cannot be opened.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're literally just sitting here talking about how does this work? Is it a mechanism? Is it a key? It's crazy. But you know, the original Demon Souls ran terribly back on the PlayStation 3. It was an overambitious product that pushed the hardware. Now it's like, I mean, if I could say one word, it would be immaculate. If you're a Demon Souls or a Dark Souls player, you will be picking up Demon Souls. You will be trying to get a hold of a PlayStation 5 just to play this game. And there have been people who did just that, just like me. I'm only playing Demon Souls nonstop. Yeah, so am I. I mean, I'm going to play other games, but I love this kind of game. You know?
I think everybody has sort of picked their one game that they're dedicating their time to sort of really test out the system. Like I'm playing Miles Morales, you're playing Demon Souls. I've seen a lot of people playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla on this and really just enjoying the living crap out of it. And you know, that's great. We all have our own different game types that we want to play. And it's good to see that everybody's just enjoying a console for once rather than bickering over, oh my god, this is better.
Oh, well, first of all, the people that are bickering are stupid. I'm sorry. The console wars, garbage, nonsense, should be gone. Should not be something that we.
It is over. It is over.
No, it's
if you go and have a look at the Xbox account when they launched the Xbox Series X. You saw Xbox and PlayStation make peace.
No. I'm not talking about
the companies made peace.
Well, they always do that. They've been congratulating themselves for a while now. It's not the companies. It's my box is better than your box. I like PlayStation better because PlayStation does it better than Xbox. Xbox has no games. It's the community.
My dick's bigger than your dick.
It's the community that's keep doing this. The big companies, the companies themselves are going, you know what, guys, this is stupid. This is childish. We shouldn't be doing this anymore. Game. But then, even if you say that, you go look at some of the posts, which I did, and they're only going, well, Microsoft's only saying it because they know they're going to lose. So they're trying to save face. Come on, man. Like, come on, just stop. Just stop. There's no reason for that. Again, we can play a game wherever the hell we want, whatever platform we want, and be happy. I mean, if the people that are still clinging to this console loyalty just needs to get over it and just enjoy themselves. Because I really do believe that the people that do that are either low-key liars and are playing on other platforms, or are miserable and are missing out on some of the best experiences out there. Because if I had never played it on a PlayStation, I would have never played Uncharted. I never would have played Toshinden back in the day. I never would have played Ridge Racer. I never would have played Tekken. I would have missed out on some of the best gaming experiences of my entire life. Just like if I didn't want to play Xbox, I would have never played Halo or Gears of War or Microsoft.
See, that's the thing. To sort of jump a little bit ahead of what I was going to say, since we're on
Mm-hmm.
the topic of like, I've recently gone through like this new generation has made me really take stock of what I own physically. I went back through everything from like my PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, Xbox, the 360, Xbox One, Series X, and Nintendo Switch. I have two columns in this spreadsheet for each console. One is what I own, and another is what I want. Now, I went through and had a look, and I was very much a PlayStation loyalist back in the day. And as I go back and try and fix things, like I go and I have a look now, like I'm trying to rebuild collections. Like my PS2 list is massive because there's a lot of games I played back in the day that I don't own that I would like to own. But the big thing is going back to Xbox, the original OG Xbox, the big Pentium 3 disguised as a gaming console. And I'm looking. I looked at what I had, and then I had a look at Metacritic's like top 100 games for the console, and then took out all the sports games. And I'm looking at things. I'm like, I missed so much by not being an Xbox person. Beyond Good and Evil, Conquer Live and Reloaded, the original Forza Motorsport, Jade Empire, Jet Set Radio Future, Mech Assault, one of the ones that you said there, the Ninja Gaiden Black, Psychonauts. These games were stuff that was on the original Xbox that I never got to experience because I was like, I'm a PlayStation person now. No. Now that I have the chance to go back and take a look at all these type of things, I want to be able to get these games. I want those experiences now, and I realize how much I made a big mistake, which is why I'm happy now that I've got the Series X, and thank God for Xbox backwards compatibility, because, man, that's one big list of stuff you can play with. But it's given me a chance to catch up on these experiences that I never would have had if I had stuck truly to just being straight PlayStation person.
Exactly. And again, that goes back to what I said in the beginning. When you have people that are so stuck up or I'm using air quotes here, loyal to a certain brand, they are essentially gipping themselves by not either allowing themselves to go try other things or being brainwashed to think that there's nothing out there worthwhile other than their platform that they're on. And that's dangerous. It's dangerous and it's ignorant.
Yeah, it's stupid thinking. But mind you, that also being said, my want list for the Xbox Series X is currently at 0. mainly because a lot of the stuff that I want to play, Far Cry 6, Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights, and begrudgingly Resident Evil 8 Village.
I'm sorry. What was that game again? Could you speak louder? You kind of mumbled when you said that game. I didn't hear you. Say again. Over.
Resident Evil 8 Village.
You mean Resident Evil Village?
No, it's Resident Evil 8 Village. I don't care what. I don't give a fuck what Capcom says. They highlighted V and 3 eyes in their fucking marketing. It is Resident Evil 8 Village. Just like Resident Evil 7 isn't Resident Evil Biohazard, it's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I don't give a fuck what Capcom says. This is their next numbered entry into the series, whether they want to admit it or not. And I say that very begrudgingly because I still reckon these ones are not Resident Evil games.
Fair enough.
But the ones that are multi-console, things like Far Cry 6, Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights, even Cyberpunk 2077, and I don't know why anybody would probably want to get it on these newer series of consoles, but the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga that's meant to be upcoming. They're multi-console games, so I'm going to end up getting them probably on the PlayStation. Like
see, that's my thing right there.
I'm still waiting. Yeah, Valhalla I want to get on PS5.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why. I mean, outside of you not owning the new console, for one reason or another, I can't.
I'm really finding. I'm waiting for the Xbox for Microsoft to turn around and give us the must buy app for the Series X. And that should have been Halo. They should have had that ready to go at launch, and that would have helped push people towards that console. Like, I've even seen videos of wives trolling their husbands, going, "Oh yeah, I went and I bought you this," and it's like, they get a copy of Valhalla on PS5 and Miles Morales and that, and then the final gift is an Xbox, and then they use that as "Oh, I was only kidding. The real thing's over there," and then they get the PS5 and they're happy. It's like I really want the Xbox Series X to. I want it to thrive. I want everything to be on par, but I don't see enough exclusive must-own games on the Xbox Series X at the moment.
Yeah.
That you can't get on PS5.
And
unfortunately, and the only thing that the Xbox Series X has going for it at this point in time is the fact that it has Xbox Game Pass, which has a lot of Xbox games and some third-party games at 100 games per month. Now they've added in EA Play as a part of it, and very, very soon they're going to end up having all the what was the company they bought out recently? Bethesda. Yeah, they'll have the Bethesda stuff on it. That's their big push, is the Game Pass. And to be honest, there's not even enough upgraded stuff. Like, I went through Game Pass, I found like three or four games on Game Pass that had Xbox Series X upgrades that you could get through that thing. Everything else was still Xbox One versions.
And again, for everybody who's listening to this podcast, both Karl and I are in the same boat. And again, it's not that we dislike Xbox, because we really like our Xboxes. Again, go back, listen to any of our past content or podcasts or videos or articles. We really do enjoy Xbox. But the problem is, and Microsoft knows this themselves, which is why they started adding more companies to their gaming umbrella. They don't have any exclusives. I don't want to hear anybody say, well, the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S sold out this holiday. Yes, they did, because gamers want their consoles still, regardless if there's games or not. And a large majority of those games or consoles want the scalpers, want the botters. Go on eBay, take a look for yourself. I don't want to hear that argument, because the same thing happened to the PlayStation 5, the RTX 3080, the RTX 3090, the RTX 3070. The botters have infiltrated the gaming community, and they are buying everything in an attempt to get a quick buck and have people buy stuff for 2 to 3 times their asking price. So I don't want to hear that. Microsoft has a problem. They've had this problem for a while. The gaming community has said this over and over again, and Microsoft has acknowledged it. They don't have the exclusives. Going into the launch of the new console, they had Halo Infinite until they hit a rock in the road and realized that this ain't working, and it got delayed, which is the right idea, the right reason, but that left them with an issue. We don't have any major exclusives. And they have a couple, like the Falconeer and a couple other games. They have a time exclusive of Yakuza Like a Dragon for the next gen consoles, but there's nothing that Microsoft has right now that can go up against. Even if you don't like Demon's Souls, I won't put that in the equation. They have nothing that goes against Miles Morales. They have nothing.
Pretty much.
I guarantee Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, will be the #1 selling game for the PlayStation 5 for this holiday. Guarantee it.
I'm waiting. Sony usually publishes their weekly sales, like, top 10 list. I'm expecting Miles Morales to be on there in some shape or form.
I know.
Whether it's the PS4 version or the PS5 version, I'm expecting it to be the top seller.
I expect it to be Miles Morales, and I also expect NBA 2K1 to be up, the 2K21 to be up there, because that game looks so freaking amazing. It does.
Yeah, but the goddamn size there. I don't want to. I have a copy. I have one that's got the PS5 upgrade, but I don't want to do it because it's like 160 fucking gig, and I don't have enough room on the. I don't have. No, I don't want to, because I only have like 600 freaking gig left on my. on my hard
This
drive.
is exactly why I went ahead and I set up a 2 terabyte drive for my PlayStation 4 games to make sure they're not stored on my PlayStation 5 whatsoever.
Look, I've got all my PlayStation 4 stuff on a 2 terabyte external hard drive.
It's crazy.
Don't you worry about that. I've already got that. But just installing Spider-Man Remastered plus the install part for Miles Morales has
Yep.
taken up nearly 60 gig on my drive already. So
Yep.
having 600 gig left on that drive, I don't want to download something that's like 150, 160 gig because that's a huge chunk out of that hard drive.
Well, the
that I
saving
don't-
grace here is that it's just Spider-Man, Demon Souls, and Call of Duty Black Ops. Those are the three biggest.
I don't even
largest
want Call of Duty Black Ops. That's 130 gig.
Call
No
of Duty.
way! Fuck that for a joke. You know,
Yeah.
I miss the days where everything ran off a disc.
But here's the thing: even with that, you got to install the game onto the hard drive, so it doesn't make a difference.
Hey, the original PlayStation ran everything off a disc just fucking fine, okay?
Yeah, well, we've come a long way from at 4K asset or can't talk assets and high fidelity sound and things of that nature. So it's not possible. Obstacles way too slow.
Oh, yeah, definitely agree. But yeah, the sooner and this is the unfortunate thing this is what I said Sony was going to end up bloody doing. I can't wait to find out what drives we are allowed to use to upgrade the storage on this console. Because as soon as I find out what storage drives we're allowed to use, I am putting some money aside. I am buying one that I can get, the first one I can get my hands on, or the biggest size one I can get my hands on. Because if I can get extra storage for this thing, I need it. I need it.
Yeah, I've already decided that if there's gonna be like a 2 terabyte solid state drive I can buy, I'm just gonna buy it because I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed that the PlayStation 5 comes with like 800 something gigs. When you set it up, it's like 667 gigs available of games. And I installed Demon Souls, I installed Miles Morales Spider-Man, and I went, what the shit? Where's my space at? This is ridiculous.
Well, that's it. Like, I'll give Xbox this. They have given us more storage space out the gate. You know, I've still got around about 800 odd gig on the internal drive left. I'm quite happy with that. You know, I can mess around with that because that was essentially what I was dealing with on the PlayStation 4. But to have 600 gig left on the PlayStation 5, that gets me worried. You know, because a lot of these games that we get sent as reviewers, we don't get sent physical discs anymore. We get sent codes. So once we do that, we put them in just like you would on, you know, getting some DLC on the PlayStation Store, but we get the full game. We download that game, then we play it. If games are starting to come in at 100 plus gigs a pop, that's a lot of storage to be taking up on that PlayStation 5 hard drive.
Yeah.
So I want that expanded storage as soon as possible. And believe me, I want to find out what's compatible. I will not be buying whatever one Sony says, you know, this is our Sony dedicated blah, 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 because that's bullshit.
I don't know if they're gonna do it.
I reckon they are. They're going to push a certain Sony branded one, but you'll find it'll be like a restamped scan disc or something like that does the exact same thing. In which case, you know, you'll go and look, like you take a look at the Samsung Evo or something like that that's just as compatible with the console, and you'll go and buy one of those instead at like half the price. Because take a look at what Xbox has already done with their expanded storage. The only way you can get expanded storage for the Xbox is to buy that Xbox branded little card. And that they're selling like, I think it's $400 Australian, which is like, you know, nearly half, which is over half the price of the console.
It's just the sign of times, buddy, and it sucks. We
Hey,
buy these hyper expensive consoles, and we gotta buy hyper expensive storage.
Hey, look, as long as we can find something that is like compatible, Like, Sony was nice enough that they said, hey, with your hard drives with your PS4, as long as they're a certain size and a certain RPM, you can put anything you want into the PlayStation 4. You want to put a 2 terabyte mechanical drive in there, go for it. You want to put a 1 terabyte SSD in there, go for it. It's quite easy to do, and they have made it easy to do again in this generation. So I'm hoping that they don't go with, okay, you must only use this, like they tried to do with the Vita. I'm hoping that they go, okay, here's a list of compatible drives with ours, and you can update and change it anytime you like.
Well, we can only hope. I mean, I do know that Western Digital has a drive that the rumor is going to be certified for use in the PlayStation 5, and it also was on the Western Digital roadmap. I don't know if it's still... Actually, while we're talking about that, let me take a look. Because it was a Western Digital black SSD for PlayStation 5. I think it was the SSD P50. Let me see if I can still find it. The Western Digital Black SN850. And since then, there has not been anything where nobody has been talking about it. But it is a 500 gig.
I'm taking a look now, and I'm seeing Samsung, the 720 Evo series, 1 terabyte going for anywhere between 240 to 280 Australian dollars for 1 terabyte. That's good. And they're even working on the Evo Plus, which goes up to 2 terabytes, which is 550, which is very expensive. But then again, give it 6 months, that thing's going to be pushing $300.
Yeah, but the thing here is we don't know the requirements are going to be. If they're going to say nope, it needs to be a PCIe 4.0, or sure you can use a 3. We don't know because they simply have not said anything. We will have to wait till the certification process goes into effect and they come out, which is why I'm not going to go, hey, this is great news, when they could go, hey, sorry, only 4, and then we're right back.
But the 970 series are 4.0s.
No, they're 3s.
Are they?
Yep.
So that's the 980s and 4s.
Yep. So we'd still be in a little of a position. Yeah.
Well, even so. 980 Pro 1 terabyte, $370. Give it 6 months, that'll be down to $250. With the way computers have been going lately, and a lot of people going towards these NVMe M.2 style drives as their main drive, they've been picking this technology up very quickly, and a lot of more companies have been jumping aboard, which means the prices have been going down exceptionally quick.
I mean, that's the plan, right? I mean, we want to see new technology drop in price. That's what we want to see. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to. Again, it'll be great if it does. And we've both been around long enough to see certain things don't go down, or maybe certain technology does go down only for it to go back up later because there's a shortage of chips or one reason or another. We've seen it. So this is a race that I'm not betting on anybody just yet. I'm just going to sit back and wait, and then, when it's at the point where I have to go, all right, here, take my money. There's where I'm at right now.
Well, that's it. When I get to the point where I'm like, staring down the barrel of like the last 100 gig on this internal drive, going, okay, I'm going to have to delete some stuff in order to play the next game I got to review or something like that. That's when I'll start looking at the drives. But I don't see that happening for quite a while just yet. Like my list of stuff that I want to review or I want to play on the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X is extremely small right now. It's like less than 10 games. And a lot of the other stuff I'd be getting on PS4 because they get the free upgrade anyway. So, you install that on the external hard drive. Easy done.
Yep, but that's again, there's not much I can say other than good luck, everybody. We'll see what happens once they're ready to talk. And I don't see that happening until maybe spring next year. So, monitor what you install on your PlayStation 5s. We're in for a bumpy ride. I mean, if anything, and I say this one more time, if anything, as much as you hate what Microsoft has done, at least they do have a roadmap. for extra storage. Right now, we know nothing about Sony, and Sony has screwed us over twice. And when I say screwed us over, I don't mean that in a really bad way. I just mean we don't know what's going on with. Hey, this is not a terabyte drive like you said in the beginning. This is an 800 gig drive that only gives us 660 gigs of space, and there is literally no way for us right now to upgrade our storage.
Pretty much.
All right, well, I'm gonna wrap this up. I got some more stuff to do. I got some more demons to slay. Maybe go play some Spider-Man. I don't want to say I'm getting burnt out from Demon Souls because I really am not. But I'm trying to play other games. It's like, Keith, come back and play me. Oh, okay. You got me.
Come play with us.
You got me.
Come play with us.
Right? So, yeah. But I'm loving my PlayStation 5. And again, I'm not saying the Xbox Series X is a terrible console. I am not saying that. Those words have never uttered out of my mouth. When I first heard about the console, when I first saw the console, I was smitten. I still am. I just want something that compels me to play it. Right now, I'm in that same situation where we talked about during the summer, where the Xbox Series X comes out and you have a PC that's capable of playing the games. Which one are you playing the games on?
Yeah, and that's just it. Like, I know I've said some bad things against the Xbox Series X during this little talk that we've been having, but don't get me wrong. I have positives on it. You know, I'm loving the controller. I think that the 4K, without having to mess around with either going fidelity or performance mode, loving that type of stuff. Bigger hard drive space. It's got plenty of stuff there ready to go. You know, the backwards compatibility, great, awesome. Game Pass, brilliant. But I'm still waiting for that one thing that makes me go, I have to boot up my Xbox Series X today over my PlayStation 5. You know, I have this game that I want to play, and it must be on the Xbox Series X.
And that's the mic drop right there. That is the argument. There's, again, not argument that the console sucks. The argument is there's no compelling reason for me right now to play it. If I didn't have an Xbox and a PlayStation 5, and I just had the Xbox, maybe things would be different. But then again, to be 100% honest with you, had there not been a shortage of Xbox Series X consoles, I likely wouldn't have picked it up. But because I know if I didn't pick it up, I likely wouldn't be able to get one for quite some time. In fact, there was an interview with what's his name? What is his name? Tim Stewart from Xbox. He's Xbox CFO. He literally said that the supply and demand for Xbox is crazy. The fact that you likely will not see any Xboxes until next year, until well into 2021. So
yeah, and that's the same thing with PS5.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, the main reason I initially ordered my Xbox Series X was because I had tried getting a PlayStation 5. I was originally on a shipment due in December, but then I got bumped up to launch day by pure luck. You know, and the other reason why I bought it was because of what we do here at the Outerhaven. You know, as a part of what we do, we need to make sure we have these consoles as early as possible, because we never know when that email is going to come in from somebody at like Xbox or, you know, a third-party brand who are saying, hey, we have this game that's on and we have Xbox Series X codes available. Would you like one?
I fully expect to see companies eventually shift away from offering Xbox One and PlayStation 4 codes. I firmly believe that we're going to see that shift soon. You're going to go, you got Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5? Yeah, okay, check out this game.
I've already received emails from a few companies like Digital Devolver, Capcom, Namco Bandai, all asking, when are you getting the next-gen consoles? When are you getting these consoles? Because we want to start sending you next-gen codes. So, you know, straight out the gate, they're already looking to do this big push towards these next-generation consoles and making sure that they're the versions that you're playing the games on. And that's why I went and got both as soon as I possibly could, because I know I need these for what we do.
Yep, pretty much, and that's it. Also,
that we're gamers and we love big shiny new things. We're magpies in that situation.
I like shiny things. I don't like big shiny new thing. The Xbox monolith.
So how's that 3080 going for you?
What 3080?
Exactly.
But it's a small card compared to the Xbox. And okay, not the Xbox. Xbox is pretty small compared to the PlayStation. Width-wise and length-wise.
That's one thing we will not be doing, by the way. We will not be doing teardown videos of these consoles. Hell no.
The idiots that buy these consoles and are doing destruction videos are just that, idiots. I get it. You get 1 million YouTubers to subscribe to you, or viewers to subscribe to you because you destroyed a PlayStation 5 and Xbox, and you just made $1 million. Great. That's still stupid, because that console you just destroyed could have went to somebody who actually wanted to use it for gaming. But then again, Microsoft probably gave it to you, or PlayStation probably gave it to you, and they know that that's what you do. You break shit, and they probably, oh, here's another one. Hey, have fun. Or, you know, I'm trending into dangerous territory here, so giving out consoles, giving out consoles. I'm not saying people aren't deserving. That's not what I'm saying. There are a lot of people out there who hustle and bust their ass and deserve what they get. But at the same time, there are a lot of people out there who are willing to pay money to get access to stuff and can't.
Yeah, but that being said, look, we both are enjoying what we have. You know, we're really enjoying the PS5. It just so happens to be the one that we're sort of focused on at the moment because of the way things are going. Again, we want the Xbox Series X to succeed. We want it to have, but we're just waiting on that one thing that's going to go, you must play it on Xbox, which they've done so many. They did so many times in the 360 era. They did many times in the original Xbox. They did with the Xbox One. There was games that you must play on the Xbox One. Okay, well, we're waiting for that on the Series X. And when it does, you can bet your ass we're going to be sitting here once again talking about the Xbox Series X and the games that are making us play it. You know, we are not going to be one side of the circle, one side of the coin on this. We cover both sides. We are very middle ground, Keith and myself. You know, we both are high-end PC users. We are both, you know, make sure we have the latest consoles and that as soon as we can. Because that's who we are, and two, we love being in the middle ground. Because it's fun watching two sides throw crap at each other and it just sails over our heads.
I laugh. I think it's stupid. But once again, everybody, thank you for checking out the Spectator Mode Podcast. As always, you can find us over at Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, and wherever else great podcasts are. You can find us on Plex as well. Good stuff. And once again, my name is Keith Mitchell, and the other guy behind me or down under is not listening to me. Karl. Karl, you playing Spider-Man still?
I'm waiting for this to finish so I can go back to Spider-Man.
Okay, Karl's busy, so he's salivating to go play Spider-Man. So on behalf of Keith Mitchell and Karl Smart, thanks for checking out this episode, and we will see you guys on the internet. Take care.
Later.